We're here at the Fallgren Home in Campo, up in the mountains about 1 hour east of San Diego. This is a 1,600 square foot, 2-bedroom, 1-bath home built in 2016. It features super insulated walls, clay plasters, and adobe accent walls. It also has photovoltaics, a hybrid heat pump water heater, high fire resistance, and lots of reclaimed and natural materials. It is a net positive home, which means it generates more energy than it uses. It is also insulated with straw, which makes it part of a movement to use bio-based materials to make buildings that store carbon and help to reverse climate change. The Fallgrens had dreamt of building a home in Campo for over a decade. They envisioned an old adobe rancho that looked like it was built 100 years ago but performed like a new, efficient building. After learning more about the high performance, the thick walls, and the adobe plaster used with straw bale building, the Fallgrens realized it was a perfect match. This home has many green features, but its most important is probably the walls, which are 2 feet thick and made of bales of straw. The straw, which is an agricultural waste product, is used to create super insulated walls with an R30 insulation rating, which are then plastered. There are other ways to build a super insulated wall, but straw bale building is the lowest impact and the most resource efficient way to do it. It also results in good indoor air quality. Natural plasters help balance humidity and prevent condensation that leads to mold. Straw bales and natural plasters are zero VOC, so by using natural, non-toxic products and finishes, fewer toxins are built into the building. When combined with other energy-efficient features such as hybrid heat pump water heater, LED lighting, mini-split heat pump heating and cooling, and solar generation, the result is a remarkably comfortable, high-performance natural home. When people hear about straw bale building, their first reaction is often to make a joke about the 3 little pigs. But after that, they ask about fire. It's counterintuitive, but straw bale buildings are actually very fire resistant. When plastered with lime or cement, like the Fallgren home, they have tested to a 2-hour fire rating. That means it will take 2 hours for fire to compromise the thick walls. Most building assemblies have a half-hour to 1-hour rating. The main reason why bale walls resist fire so well is the plaster. Sand mixed with cement, lime, or clay just doesn't burn. Also, the bales themselves are so densely packed that they won't ignite. It's like trying to burn a thick book. There isn't enough oxygen inside of a bale for flame, it just smolders. I like to say that if you ever want to ruin a fun bonfire, all you have to do is toss a bale on it.
When my wife Susan and I retired, we wanted to move to the country. And we bought this beautiful property out here in the mountains of San Diego County near Campo, California. And it is a wonderful place. We're surrounded by thousands of acres of open space, mainly chaparral and coastal live oak woodland. But anyone who wants to live out here has to take a risk. They really have to know what they're getting into. And that risk is wildland fire. So when we were thinking about our dream home, we wanted to do straw bale, but mainly for aesthetic reasons. We liked the way it looked or duplicated an old adobe structure. But we were both pleasantly surprised to find out that straw bale actually is extremely fire resistant. So along with the usual precautions one can take, we have a steel roof, we have ember resistant vents, we have cleared religiously around the house. We also have the plaster straw bale wall systems, and that gives us a lot of security, knowing that that system will resist fire. We have a lot of open land around us. We have chosen not to clear it except around the house, so the threat is here. We also have a 10,000 gallon water tank, which is accessible by the fire department. So we feel we've done just about everything we can. This is a wonderful house to have out here. Actually, I think the County of San Diego and CAL FIRE approve of this kind of structure because it does not burn very easily.
Since wildfires do happen here, We're committed to building homes that have the best systems to resist fire, that give people as much time as possible to escape, and that have the best chance to protect them if they do have to shelter in place. A home should be resilient in the face of emergencies, providing shelter when it's most important. Laboratory testing and anecdotal evidence from wildfires show that straw bale buildings can do just that.
Another issue out here is that because of climate change, we're having many more red flag weather events. And so we lose electricity. We do have a solar array, but we are at this point grid tied. So we lose electricity. That means we lose our electrical heating and our electrical air conditioning. But this house is so well insulated and has such wonderful passive energy features that we can go for days with a very comfortable temperature in here, whether it's very cold outside or it's very warm outside. It gives us a lot of comfort with the thick straw bale walls.
In 2018, Simple Construct was delighted to have the Fallgren Home certified as a net zero energy building through the Living Building Challenge. That means that this home uses less energy than it produces. But it's performed even better than we expected. It produces almost twice as much electricity as it uses every year, which is amazing considering that every system in this house is electric and the solar array is relatively small at just 4.1 kilowatts. But kilowatts only mean so much. It isn't just that this house uses less electricity to do the same things as an average house. It's also extraordinarily comfortable, even in this relatively extreme mountain desert climate.
We can have ranges in temperature in one day here in Campo at 50 degrees. And our highs through the year can be in the hundreds and the lows in the 20s. Yet all it really takes is a running of the wood stove to heat this house. And in the real dog days of August, perhaps running the efficient mini split to cool things down a bit.
It's the combination of the insulation and the thermal mass that creates this remarkable comfort. There's the thick insulation provided by the straw bale walls and the cellulose in the attic, and then there's lots of thermal mass provided by the plasters, the adobe accent walls, and the concrete slab. All of this insulation and mass together means that once the house has reached an ideal temperature, it takes a lot to change it. A very hot day or a very cold day won't make a difference. Combine that with the right passive solar orientation for this climate, and you have an amazingly comfortable home year-round. It's hard to convey the feeling of snug coziness and shelter that this home provides with its thick walls. There are no drafts, there are no cold spots. Every surface radiates the right temperature. Most of us have never experienced a house that does what this house does, but once you have, it really makes you want one.